So how long have you been doing these sessions, Surbi?
Right. So the LinkedIn Local. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been 2 years now. So LinkedIn Local is a kind of a global phenomena started from Australia. So, and the idea is that we connect virtually. The irony is, of course, during the pandemic time, is like it's in reverse. But yeah, anyways, the whole thing is that you connect to a lot of people on LinkedIn, but you don't get to meet. And obviously, meeting in real life is completely different. So somebody started that whole movement in Australia, and that caught up. So now we have chapters across the
Mm-hmm.
globe, and now it's fully recognized by LinkedIn. They acknowledge us at least, so we are allowed to use their logo. So Lucknow is one of the chapters. We have chapters in different cities as well. Some are more active. There's no as such that regime we need to follow. So it's really depends on the host. So I do the Lucknow chapter, and the good thing with this is like it's entirely your choice what you can like. So for example, the community actually asked for this Zoho session. Mr. Vinod is here. He's the one who suggested. There are a couple of other people who mentioned way back last year, and I remember that's why I pursued you. And this is the thing which I mean again LinkedIn comes in very handy, the contacts, and sometimes we have sessions from our members as well. There's always the knowledge base is like the community is, but today we have non-members as well. So, because I wanted to kind of you know as I said spread the knowledge. So I wanted to let everybody welcome, come over to this session. So we have members. I can't really see right now. I minimize that part. But
Okay, thank you so much, and thanks Vinod and everybody else who asked for this. I didn't really know, the community in Lucknow would be so vibrant, and especially given that this event is, this community is largely offline. So I wasn't really aware of anything of that kind in Lucknow, and partly got intrigued by that. And I thought, okay, let me do that. When you first reached out, and I thought I'll probably do it during one of my trips. But good to be here. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So yeah. So right now, with the past 5 6 months, we have been meeting more virtually. But yeah, that's the thing. Learning can continue. Learning and obviously connecting. It's always nice to connect to a lot of people.
Yeah, of course.
A couple of more minutes. I think we have not a lot, as many as registered, but it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I am recording the session. I've been requested by many people that please record it. So I hope that's okay with you.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, I'm not going to share any confidential information anyway, so you're fine.
Ooh.
Uh, how many people signed up for the event? I'm just curious.
So that's fine. So we had between 60 to 70, and the messages kept coming. So we had a
Okay.
higher number, but then it's all right.
Yeah, I
am
mean, as long as you're
glad,
recording it, so
and then I'm
whoever
glad
is,
all those who are here right now. Thank you so much. I'm not
yeah, sure.
individually mentioning their names, but yeah, I can see who all are here. Some familiar faces, some new ones. So I think we'll get started, Praval, if that's okay with you.
For sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do that now.
Right. So thank you once again. I'm just going to quickly read what the session is about and about you as well. So of course, Zoho is little known, but there's a lot of intrigue, and it's a software as a service company, and with 50 million users worldwide. And you are the VP of Marketing and Customer Experience, right? So I'm really, really amazing to have you. Just going to quickly read your bio. In your previous avatar, you co-founded a digital agency that helped brands like Samsung and Maruti Suzuki with digital initiatives and products launches in India. Over the last 12 years, between your agency work and your time with Zoho, you have had the opportunity to take part in product marketing, sales, and business development roles. And I really like that part about your bio. When not reading or writing about software and the internet, you're probably at your home in New Delhi, wearing an apron and cooking up a storm. And you're very active on Twitter. I saw that as well. You've got a quite following as well. So you can always follow his handle as Praval. So over to you, Praval. Thank you so much. All yours.
Thank you so much, Surbi, and thanks everyone for joining in today. How many of you, is there a way that I can sort of keep it a little interactive where you can respond via chat? I would love to see some responses so that I'm not talking to a wall. Let me pull out the chat window. I would love to see chats. Can I? I know, I mean, it would be hard for everyone else to speak, but we could definitely do a chat, I believe.
Absolutely. The chat is enabled.
Now I gotta, okay, got it. Yes, I can now see chats here. All right. All right. So thanks again. My name is Praval. I am the VP of Marketing and Customer Experience at ZOHO, which precisely means talking to people like you here and others and customers, prospects, anybody who we think can potentially help from our software and services that we offer. The gentleman on the screen you see on your left, don't be confused, is the right presentation. This photo is probably 8 years old when I joined ZOHO. A lot has changed since then, as you can see. One thing that has not changed is the way we have operated, the way we run the business at ZOHO in all these years. And to give you a snapshot of where we're coming from, ZOHO is a 24-year-old company, not so popular a name because we are not a B2C company. We are, chances are that you would have heard of ZOHO or would have interacted with us if you run a business and if you had a business need. Today we have over 50 million users and 45 plus applications. We have customers in 180 countries, and we have 9,000 plus employees as of today. Just to give you some perspective, I joined ZOHO in the year 2012. Back then, we had 5 million users. We had close to 12 or 13 applications, and we had about 1,300 employees. So we've come a long way in just last 8 years, and we've been fortunate to be part of that journey. So moving forward, what do you think ZOHO is as a company? I mean, a lot of us know ZOHO as a software company, as a company that is made in India, and certain other words get associated with ZOHO as a brand name, things like bootstrap, things like a company that values their customers and doesn't really believe in taking investments or raising money from outside. So these are some of the themes that we've seen, people associate us with. I'm just sort of looking at chat as well in case. All right, okay. If I miss a question, please don't mind. I'll look at all the chat questions and take other questions towards the end. Thank you so much, regardless. So if I have to define what is ZOHO, and because it's been around for over 2 decades, like I said, we have over 45 products, large teams, customers in so many countries. But if I had to summarize it, I think this slide does it really well. We take pride in what we create, and what we create is essentially software. Why I say that is because it's not just about building a software and selling it, but it's also about how we do that. And a few ingredients that go into that include a commitment to staying private as a company without raising money and fueling the business from our customers themselves. So the only way we make money and profit is from what our customers pay us. We've always been a bootstrap business, and that's the idea, being profitable since the first few years. And our focus on privacy, that's one thing that is a topic close to my heart, and not just mine, but a lot of our colleagues value privacy for individuals and businesses both. I'll talk about it briefly in the next few slides, but what else defines ZOHO? right? If you'd have noticed, in fact, just 8 years ago when I joined Zoho, not too many people had heard about it. Not too many people knew who it competes with, how does it stack against some of the other players in the market, all of that. And the prime reason for that is uh, the company has historically focused into building the product, improving the R&D, innovating on new ideas, right? And the result of that is what you see in what I say, we have 45 plus products for businesses. Now that's sort of unmatched in the industry. While we would compete with the likes of maybe Google and Microsoft and some of the other companies, I would say, the breadth that we have from a software suite standpoint and the depth that we've created over the years in terms of making it better and evolving the product continuously. Focus, that commitment to product development and innovation is, I would say, one of the unique traits of Zoho. And of course, our focus towards our customers, our partners, our communities, and of course, the employees. So all of that put together is, I would say, not really a secret, but still a sauce to what we are today. And we take pride in the fact that we say software is our craft. And that's something we love to perfect, we love to improve on. So privacy. I mentioned briefly that privacy is important to us as a company, and it's becoming increasingly important now when we're seeing a lot of companies operating in a way where they lose their customers. But if you think of it, why do they lose their trust? It has a lot to do with their business models. When a company is selling software or giving something for free, it's important to understand the intent that they have behind it or their business model. So if I am buying a piece of software or I'm using some service that's on the internet, I share some data that could be something as trivial as my name and email address, or might go beyond that. And when these companies use my data to show me ads or to sell it to third-party companies to sell me other products, that's something that I may or may not be comfortable with. And that's where privacy comes into play, consent comes into play. At Zoho, we believe we don't own our customers' data, they do. And we prefer not to touch it. In the sense, we don't use that data to show ads or sell ads. We don't sell that data to third parties. And we don't run any third-party trackers or analytics tools that are from outside of the company, because all of that would lead to the customer data being compromised, or if not compromised, in a way shared with or without consent to a third party. That's something we don't believe in doing. And not because of the way things are today, or not because of now everybody thinks that Facebook is now evil. That's not the reason. Interestingly, Zoho has always been that way, right? And the business model is pretty straightforward. The company builds incredible software using technology. We believe in offering it at affordable prices. And when customers find value in that, they pay us. And with that money, we run our business. We pay our employees. We run the show, pretty much everything. And interestingly, that's how it's been for the last 24 years. Nothing has changed. Even though we've seen laws like GDPR and all of that come in the last couple of years, we've been that way. We've been GDPR compliant in many ways forever. So that's where we stand when it comes to privacy. All right. So in terms of our global footprint, we're fairly global in terms of our presence today. Our global headquarters are in Chennai in India, but we have offices around the world. Our US headquarters are in Austin, Texas. And then we have presence in China, Japan, Australia, Dubai, Europe, even South America. I don't see that marked on this map, but we are there in South America as well. So fairly global, I would say, the way we're distributed. India, in terms of our size, has grown from being in top 10 to now top 5 countries. So one of the fastest growing countries for us is India in terms of our customer size. Some familiar brands, I would say, in India that we work with. These are some of them. Of course, we have over 50 million users and over 3 lakh companies globally. So some of the familiar names that I think people can relate with. So I chose these. And if you think of what is that we really offer, right? When we say software, when we talk about SaaS software, products, all of that, these are some of the key functional groups where our offering would fit into, right? We have software for sales. We have software for marketing teams, software to run your customer support, business intelligence, productivity, collaboration, all of that. We also have a technology stack, which is both available as a low code and pro code platforms for developers to build an application, maybe a custom application on top of our infrastructure. And then, of course, business process optimization, employee experience, which is also known as human capital management, HCM, or HR software, if I put it that way. We have a bunch of software in that category as well. And then, of course, finance for your accounting, invoicing, all of that. So these are some key function groups areas where we have our software in. So let's take a quick look on each of these and see at a very high level what kind of software do I mean for each of these categories. So sales. Business, you almost always have a sales team. It could be you, it could be somebody else, it could be a 2-people team, it could be a 200-people team. Interestingly, we have something for each one of you. If you're running a large company or a medium-sized company and you need a full-fledged CRM with sales for automation, territory management, and whatnot, we have something called ZOHO CRM. But a few months ago, we launched something called Begin with an I, not with an E, which is a pipeline-centric CRM, which is designed and priced, interestingly, for small businesses. Apart from that, we also have field services and IoT as pieces of technology that plug and play with these software to sort of help you with your field sales if you have any. But this is primarily where our sales offering stacks. Marketing. Now, marketing can be pretty broad. You know, we have software across all channels of marketing. You could be building a new website. You could be running your email marketing campaigns. You might want to manage your social media, or maybe something like running a survey with your participants or customers, or maybe a bunch of people. Let's say we have some people at this session and you may want to survey them, right? So we have software for each of those needs. Marketing automation, I mean, that's a popular category today in terms of marketing software. So all the way from building highly customized and personalized journeys to integrating it with scenarios and running the entire funnel, you know, with multiple channels, email, SMS, all of that. That's something that you can do using one of our software. Web personalization, right? I mean, you might want to, if you run an e-commerce business, or if you're running a business that gets leads or that has a website where you bring traffic, you can run A/B test. You can see how people are engaging with your websites using heat maps. And we also have tools to test your apps if you build apps. So That's marketing. Customer support. If you're running a business, you likely have a customer support team or individual, or for all of that, we have Zoho Desk, which is our help desk software, pretty extensive in terms of what you can do with it. Some of our largest customers that use Zoho Desk have over 1,000 people on their support team. So that sort of gives you an idea that, and some of the smallest companies are like 5 people support teams that use Zoho Desk. In fact, during the COVID, when the COVID outbreak happened, some of the government institutions were using Zoho Desk to manage initial support, relief, all of that in certain states. One of them, don't quote me, I don't remember the name exactly, but I believe it was set up by the government institution in Jammu and Kashmir, if I'm not wrong. Remote assistance is also something that we do with something called Lens, where you can remotely support a physical inspection or maintenance of something. Let's say if I am a network administrator and I want to troubleshoot a network hub or a switch, I can do that remotely with someone being on the side with the phone and me being here on my computer. Things like that, basically, support. Finance and operations, that's where we have a bunch of tools all the way from your accounting needs in. We could be a freelancer or a small business running a company or a service business, and you have your clients. You would like to, send an estimate or payments, collect payments in multi-currency. All of that is possible. Payroll. If you're running a company beyond a certain number, you have to have a payroll system in place, and we have payroll that complies with the Indian laws. Subscription services or inventory management, right? Let's say you have a warehouse and you go through the complete process of supply chain. You can manage all of that using our inventory management. Moving on, productivity and collaboration. This is an interesting one. In fact, during this COVID, we launched a new suite called Zoho Remotely, which is built on top of the productivity collaboration software. It helped people work from home or from wherever they were. And we saw more than 20,000 companies signing up for it within a few weeks. So essentially, our productivity and collaboration software includes business email, which is, let's say your company name is XYZ and your name is ABC. You could get an email address like abc@xyz.com. Fully functional business email with, again, privacy in mind. And a writer sheet show are your presentation software, spreadsheets, and your word processor. In fact, this presentation that you see right now is running on Zoho Show, which is our presentation software. Project management, whether you're running a traditional project management, a waterfall model, or one of those, or even agile methodology that you use, we have software for both of them. And for collaboration, so it could be something as simple as chat, team chats, or messenger, what is popularly known as, or an enterprise social network, a company social network. Think of like Facebook, but not Facebook. File management. When you're running a company, you have a bunch of files. How do you share? How do you collaborate? How do you work together on files? All of that can also be done using one of Zoho's software. And then, of course, video meetings like these can be done effortlessly using Zoho Meeting. Moving forward, employee experience is what I spoke about, right? This is pretty much the HR space. So your HR software, all the way from onboarding people, taking care of their, keeping track of their performance, all of that, hiring people, typically the ATS, applicant tracking, all of that is also possible. And expense, when you have employees, if they go for meetings, if they travel, they might have bills or receipts to scan and expense, all of that, or you may have a corporate credit card in case, all of that is taken care of using Zoho Expense. business process. You may have a custom workflow or a process to get certain things done. Each business is different. Each business has a process. You can use Orchestly to define your process, define your stages and workflows. And you can use Flow, which is our connector or integration software, to sort of connect between different tools and softwares, even outside of ZOHO. So let's say you use a tool like HubSpot to do marketing automation, and you want to connect it with one of our ZOHO software. You can use Flow to do that. We have hundreds of pre-built integrations which you can use on a one-click installation. Moving forward, BI, our software called ZOHO Analytics helps you do intelligence, run things like NLP and all of that, including mobile BI, for all kinds of BI needs. And this is what I was talking about in one of my favorite, I would say, verticals of software that we create, or the platform that we create, is Creator, which is a low-code platform. Without having to write a lot of program or code, you can create a custom application. Let's say I want to build a software to manage my consulting business. I can do that. Or I want to build a library management software, or I want to build something for my NGO that I run. You can do that using Creator. If you don't find a ready software for something that you do, you can build one, or get someone to build one for you if you're not pretty sure about that, using ZOHO Creator. Catalyst is for our programmer friends and the community, people who love to write code from scratch. We provide them the complete infrastructure, the same infrastructure on which ZOHO runs the software that we build and sell. So it's a robust serverless infrastructure to build your own software on top of it. And of course, the bot framework, you can create chatbots, you can create bots based on logic, all of that using the ZOBot that we have. So all of that, what I spoke about, it can be overwhelming. There's so many products that I can speak endlessly about them if I have to talk about them one by one. There are more than 45 of them. But what I'm trying to say here is that there's a software for pretty much every business need that you may have. It could be sales, support, marketing, HR, finance, or even productivity and office. All of that is available at ZOHO. And it's not just about them being available as independent software. And then, of course, the question might be, from 50 other software vendors in the world. Well, we'll see how that really makes sense put together. Here's another interesting bit. We have something called ZIA, which is our AI framework. I have a quick video to show you how ZIA actually adds magic to your data, right? If you can look at the screen, this is our analytics software, the BI software. I can sort of enter in data in like pure, I can enter in straight sentences here. I'm looking at, show me my yearly revenue as country, as a bar chart. I'm just giving instructions in text, and it just real time populates, show me my revenue. It shows my revenue. Show it by country. It immediately starts to show me by country. And then I say, show it yearly. And then I see it yearly. And then in the end, when I add, show it as a bar graph, it immediately changes. So that is our artificial intelligence engine. We call it ZIA. Similarly, like I said, you can integrate or blend your data from various sources. That sources can be ZOHO application or even third-party applications, like you can see from Stripe, from Google, from HubSpot, from Segment, from 100,000 plus actually connectors we have today, where you can connect, blend your data, and populate these kind of real-time dashboards, to keep track of your business metrics, operational metrics, all of that. Here's a good example of how a CEO or the founder of a company can look at executive. I'm calling it executive dashboard. You can call it anything, but look at it. You can see the revenue, you can see the projected revenue, my marketing expenses, my customer satisfaction rate, whatever. This is a customizable dashboard that you can create. And don't get me wrong, this is not just for large companies. To be honest, most of Zoho's customers are small businesses. So this is built for businesses of all sizes and is extremely, extremely useful because it's built using your own data. You can build it using the metrics, the parameters that matter to you. So yeah, like I said, Zoho fits your strategy regardless of the size of your business. You could be a small business, you could be a large business. Regardless, it works for you. So let's see how does that work. So you could choose to try any of the applications across any of these categories independently. Let's say I want to get digital signatures. I can just go and try Zoho Sign, and if it makes sense for me, I may buy it. If I only need to run email marketing for my customers or prospects or clients, I can just use Zoho campaigns. These are products that we have. So there are like 45 of them. You can choose the ones that you want, or you can do a combination of these that you would like to use. You don't have to use everything. And then you can integrate, most of them actually integrate with existing software in the market. So let's say you are using a CRM, which is not from Zoho, and that's where your leads and contacts are, but you want to send email campaign to them using Zoho campaigns. You can do that. So how Zoho fits your strategy is you can choose individual apps. Next, we have these bundles, which is based on the business function or the need. So they are not just products put together, but they're like nicely integrated. So we have our CRM Plus software, which is software suite, which is unified customer experience platform. So it has elements of sales, support, marketing, all of that put together, AI, BI. We'll see what goes into each one of these, but essentially CRM Plus, Finance Plus, Workplace Plus, IT Management, People Plus, all of these are pre-integrated business apps ready to use for a particular business function or a team within your organization or within your startup, within your company, with a single administrative panel. So the administrator decides who gets access to what, how are you using your account, single invoice, all of that. So individual applications, application bundles. Oh, by the way, yeah. So these are some of the application bundles, 4 of them, in fact, and it lists all the applications that that particular bundle has. So every bundle has a price that you pay for it, and you get all the applications within that bundle. So you could choose single applications, you could choose these bundles, or you could choose what we call Zoho One, also known as the operating system for business, which is basically 40 plus applications, a unified solution, single admin panel with advanced controls, all of that at one price. So you get all the applications on the single platform for a single price, and that price is per employee. So yeah, that's pretty much it from what we have. Again, to summarize, the flexibility is the key here, and that is what you miss or you don't get when you're choosing these software from 10 different vendors. So you have an option to buy all of them put together, seamlessly integrated, customized in a way that your business runs. You have the flexibility to customize it that way. You can choose individual application bundles if you're already vested into one particular software which is not from Zoho. To give you an example, a lot of companies use Tally to manage their accounting books, which is fine. I mean, if you love Tally, great. It works for you. You don't have to change it. You can still use other bundles and other Zoho software, to make the best of it. And then, of course, we have individual apps. Like I said, if you want to send email campaigns, you just need Zoho campaigns. We have the option of that as well. So that this flexibility is actually the key, and that's what customers love. And a lot of customers start with a single application. They graduate to using multiple applications, and then they find bundles interesting. And then when they start finding multiple bundles interesting, they end up often choosing ZOHO 1, which is everything put together. So that is the reason we confidently put this statement here, which is ZOHO offers industry's most comprehensive product portfolio. We're proud to say that, and because we can claim it. So that's it. That's all that I have to talk about ZOHO today. But I'm happy to take your questions. I'm happy to answer any specific questions about general business needs, about a particular software that you may have a question for, or any of that. So everybody who's this
Thank you, Praval. Thank you so much. That was very informative. I knew that ZOHO was like a suite, but didn't realize that it has so many aspects. So yeah. So guys, it's open. Like, any questions? If you can just type in the chat window, it'll be easier. We can or we can use the mic as well, but then we'll have to select how do we go. Can we stop the screen share if that's okay?
Yeah, sure. Let me do that.
Is that something you wanted to show, the cost and everything, or is there on the website?
It's on the website. I mean, I can show that, but there are 45 applications. I can show you the ZOHO 1 price that I have here, but there are 45 applications. I didn't really want it to be a pricing discussion, but happy to share this. This is how ZOHO 1 is priced, by the way. So it's in India, it's charged, it's priced 1,500 rupees per employee per month for all employees. And that you get all the 40 software licenses that we spoke about, that I mentioned broadly. You don't have to buy this, but if you need multiple software, you're already using 5 different pieces of software from different vendors. For a lot of customers, it makes sense. And if you only choose to buy it for a limited number of employees, the price is 3,000 rupees per month. 1,500 is for all the employees for the entire organization. Okay. How do I end? Okay, let me end. Oops.
Yeah, just don't end the call. You'll have to leave.
No.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm Zoom challenge. Can you stop this or?
I'll try my best.
No, I got it.
You got it?
Fine. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we have a question from Nikesh. So can you please talk more about the custom app development and also some comparison with FDC platform in that area?
Okay. Nikesh, is he here? Okay. Hi, Nikesh. So we have under our development tools portfolio, something that we've had for really long is ZOHO Creator, which is our low-code software builder. Like I said, I gave an example of that where you can create custom applications using ready libraries and write some scripting using what we call Deluge, which is our own language that you can use. Recently, we announced ZOHO Catalyst. Think of it like sort of AWS in many ways, where you get, it's PaaS basically. You get platform as a service and you can write any kind of code that you would like to on that platform. So we're basically giving you a platform and infrastructure to write something from scratch on ZOHO Catalyst. Whereas Creator is more for people who don't want to write code from scratch. They can use drag and drop, all of that, and do some bit of scripting to create a custom application. Does that answer your question broadly? Again, I'm not a Creator expert, but happy to set up a one-on-one or point you to a resource that would be more valuable and worth your time, probably, if you're interested in that.
So hopefully that answers Nikesh. I think his screen is frozen. I can see that.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So he
but
said.
We'll definitely need. Sorry.
More info. So
Nikesh, yeah, I'm Praval on Twitter, or praval@zoho.com is my email. Feel free to send me an email. Would love to help you.
Okay. So Vinod is asking, there's a question from Vinod. Can you please share some detail on ZOHO online meeting app?
Okay.
What's the ZOHO Zoom alternative.
Okay, so we have a Zoom alternative, and we have uh, actually we have more than that, I would say. So a classic Zoom alternative is Zoho Meeting, which is essentially to run a meeting or a webinar like this. Uh, we also have something called Zoho Showtime, which is for people who create and host courses. So let's say I am a trainer who does yoga classes. That's a bad example, but you get my point. If I was a yoga trainer and I want to run video courses on yoga, I could create my course, host it on my Showtime account, charge people for it by a credit card or whichever way I want to, and I own the whole thing, which is very different from running your course on a Coursera or an Academy or any of those. So then you are in full control of your account. You market your thing. It's not a marketplace. You don't have to give a commission from the money that you make from that course. So that's pretty much Zoho Showtime. So Zoho Meeting, Zoho Showtime. We have something called Zoho Click, which is a messenger software. Or sort of Microsoft Teams is a good example in the same league, I would say, where you can you can do one-on-one chats, you can do team chats, you can do one-on-one videos and group conversations as well. So different ways of doing this, but a classic online meeting app is basically Zoho Meeting. One interesting fact about Zoho Meeting now that we're talking is you don't have to download anything on your computer to run a meeting. We don't force you. You have an option, but we don't force you to download anything on your computer. So let's say you join in a meeting from a computer that is not yours, or let's say you're not comfortable downloading something on your desktop because we don't know. Sometimes those applications might be doing more than they say they're doing. So we take care of that, and that again is in line with our stand on privacy and security. Does that answer your question, Vinod? I believe it does. Okay.
Yeah. So I think we should have tried that today.
Sure. I mean, happy to set you up for your next session if you would like to. Yeah.
We can. We have set like a lot of lineups, sessions lined up. So why not? I'll get in touch with you. And I think, yeah. So Arvind here has a question. He's a member of Computer Society of India, Lucknow. Can we organize on? Oh, okay. Right. A session with you for meeting app.
I think if you really want to know more about the meeting app, I'm happy to set that up with someone from the meeting team. They probably can, if you just want to know about that, but happy to set it up. Yeah, happy to set it up. If you're interested to see how meeting works. We can give you 200 participants. Thank you for that. We'll get somebody to talk to you. Please reach out to me or I'll be happy to set up a demo or see how we can help you.
Absolutely. So this is something which we're all looking forward to. I'll wait for my invite as well, Arvind. So we have another question. What do Zoho do in IoT? Wow.
Good question. So one thing I did not talk about in this presentation, and that was purely in the interest of time. Zoho that we know of, or you'd have heard of, is the parent company is called Zoho Corp, and it has 3 different business units precisely. So one is, of course, Zoho.com, which is our cloud software business. The other is called Manage Engine, which is our on-premise IT asset and Active Directory kind of software for enterprises. And the third one is called WebNMS, which is for network management solutions. Now, WebNMS division is our division where we're working in the IoT field a lot because it talks about network management. It has unique cases that we're solving using IoT. I don't have specific examples of how we're doing it, but I'm happy to connect with you, Vinod, on that and probably put you in touch with someone on our WebNMS team, and they'll be happy to discuss with you if you have any specific questions around that. Or just you can check WebNMS. If you look it up on the internet, you'll find our website for WebNMS, and you might get some details on that.
So Arvind has shared his email ID, so I'll pass it on to you. There's a question by Vikas who wants to know more about ZOHO One. So we have different plans in each type of subscription. So when we subscribe ZOHO One, which type of subscription is provided?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question.
Another extension to that question is that is there a possibility of mixing and matching with the ZOHO One subscription? So suppose if one of the subscription is having some features A to C, and I want to increase in that particular app itself, can I increase it, or have an additional to pay, or it's covered in the ZOHO One?
Okay, that's a good question, Vikas. So here is how it works broadly. The applications that are included in ZOHO One, we offer a very, I would say, initially when we rolled it out, here's how it was. We offered the top tier of every application when we rolled it out 2 years ago. Okay, 3 years ago almost, I would say. Over time, when ZOHO One was launched, we had 35 products. Today we have over 45 of them. And a lot has changed since then. So in fact, we also tweaked and changed ZOHO One's pricing. But most of the products that are offered in ZOHO One already have the top plans in them. But in some cases, there are differences. I'll give an example. There's a product called ZOHO Backstage, which is to run events. Now, what we believe is ZOHO One is for companies. If you're buying a ZOHO One subscription and you want to run an event of yours, the plan that is given within ZOHO One is good enough. But if you are an event agency and you have 500 clients and you run 300 events a year, then ZOHO One is not going to fit in there, because ZOHO One is for your business. It's not for 500 other businesses that you are serving as a business. So in that case, what we do is we have something called add-ons. So ZOHO One does have add-ons across different products that you can buy to increase the capabilities of a particular product, or get additional features, or basically top-ups or extra storage, or depends on which product we're talking about. But if you go to ZOHO One website, we have a well-detailed document of which plan, which edition of which software is included in that. And it's a very comprehensive list, so much so that even I would not have all of them at the top of my mind right now. But essentially, that's how we operate. So we made ZOHO One a very compelling offering. It has pretty much everything that a business needs. But for exceptional cases, for edge cases, or additional requirement, we do that. We can top up certain things.
So to conclude that add-on packages are available on top of the ZOHO One to meet specific requirements.
Right. Also, you can buy additional software separately as well. So there are customers who use ZOHO One to run their business, but they buy an additional license of ZOHO Backstage to run 200 other events for their customers. So that's how it is. But yeah, add-ons are available, like I said.
So one silly question from my side, another one. So why do you use this model for all the employees rather than user-based model? What's the rationale behind it?
We have both. You can use you can buy
the
ZOHO.
User one is costly, while all the app subscription models you have are mostly on the user base.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the last line you said.
Okay, so most of the application subscriptions that you have in ZOHO are mostly on the user base, not focusing on the employee base. So I would just like to understand what's the rationale behind it.
Oh, that's pretty straightforward. If you start to add the price of each of these individual software that we offer, for the top tier, the price would be probably 10x of what you get at the employee listing. So ZOHO One makes sense for us and for you mostly when I would say when you buy it for the entire organization. So initially when we launched ZOHO One, that was the only way you could get ZOHO One. Only a year later, we launched the per employee pricing. So because the cost is phenomenally low, it's in the US, it's $1 a day per employee, which is less than a cup of coffee for all the 45 software that we offer. So the price is extremely, extremely low for us to even make sense from a business perspective. If the entire company is choosing to move to it, it only then makes sense for us. So yeah, that's the reason.
Hope that answers Vikas.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, okay.
No problem. Do
Any
you have
other?
any more?
Yeah,
I
at
see
least
one.
not in the chat. Oh,
Okay, no.
no, there's no new question. I don't see it. Anybody else wants to ask?
One more question. Is ZOHO Zia and ZOHO is included in the ZOHO one?
Yeah, Zia is not something you can buy independently. Zia is our intelligence layer, artificial intelligence layer that is weaved into many of our products. So CRM has it, Analytics has it, ZOHO Writer has it. It's just, think of it as a smart intelligence layer that we are trying to weave into many of our software. You don't have,
ZOHO
you don't
is
have to buy
included in the ZOHO one?
You can create your own bots using ZOHO Bots, part of Sales IQ, which is one of the software there.
Is it included in ZOHO one?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody has any questions? I saw a couple of people unmuting and then deciding not to ask the questions. All right. Okay, so my question is just one. I have one. Did the owner, like Mr. Sridhar, make the entire ZOHO thing just because it suits him and his work style? I hope everybody knows that he's the one who moved to Chennai last year, just before the pandemic, and he works somewhere remotely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he moved to, not to Chennai, but a small village. Yeah, it's a village on the border of Kerala and Tamil Nadu, near a small town called Tenkasi. So he's in a village. He moved there October last year.
Yes.
But no, I mean, ZOHO has been there for 24 years, and he has spent most of his time in the US, in California.
Yes.
It's only last year he moved, and he's on a mission to revive our rural economy. He's on a mission to empower the kids in these villages to learn, to be able to be independent, and sort of, that's his style, his way of contributing to the country's economy by working at the grassroots.
It's amazing. Yeah, I mean, like, not being flamboyant about it, but he's doing the work quietly. I think
that's what it is. Yeah.
So I have one last question. I don't know whether anybody else. It's like, if I want to go, so we have another question as well, but it's just, we want to go about it. Like, I have a small business. How do I figure out? I mean, because there are 40 plus apps, and you actually, unless I have that slideshow or some kind of, somebody's asking me those questions on the screen, I don't know where to get started.
There are just two ways to it. One is you pay me $100 and I set you up, or the other is you go to ZOHO.com.
Okay.
You choose which one do you want.
So somehow $100 seems easy.
I'm just kidding. You can go to ZOHO.com and just sign up. Each one of our software offers 2 weeks of free trial. We don't ask for your credit card. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest.
All right, okay.
You go to ZOHO.com.
Yes,
you go to ZOHO.com, you get 15 days of free trial. And that's, the trial includes pretty much most features that the product has.
Right, okay.
And even after the trial, let's say you do not want to purchase for whatever reason, right? Most products, I would say, or rather almost all products, have a forever free plan as well, which would have limited capabilities, but you would never be charged for it, and you would never be shown any ad in it. So, and for a lot of small businesses, freelancers, independent solopreneurs, while they pay for some software, they also use some other ZOHO software, often on the free edition. So it just works out, for all kinds of businesses, small, medium, large, all of that. In fact, for startups, we also have a special program called ZOHO for Startups, which one of my colleague, she drives it. She's based in Chennai. Happy to put any of you in touch with her if you have any specific questions around ZOHO for Startups. Okay,
we can invite her as well. We have another question. I hope we have time for it. I have an advertising agency. Is this from Gurinder? So he needs to know very comprehensive accounting software. So does accounting software would fulfill my requirement? There are a lot of elements in the invoice.
Okay, so we have Zoho books that I think should fit your requirement. I'm pretty bad at finance though, but we can get someone to speak with you or why don't you just go to zoho.com/books and check out our accounting software. Or if you just need invoice, you can look at Zoho Invoice as well.
I had actually used, sorry for interrupting. I had
No, go ahead.
I have actually used your Zoho books trial, but then it was very confusing for us. So we had gone back to Tally, wherein we are still not very satisfied with Tally, because with every invoice, there are a number of elements, because if the invoice is for an outdoor, so we will have 10 elements. So we were searching for something which is very comprehensive, which can actually add all our elements first. And when we create an invoice, we can just select, okay, these are the elements we want in this specific invoice.
I don't think that should be a limitation. I mean, you have complete flexibility to customize because no two companies have the same kind of invoices. So I don't see that. By any chance, did you get to speak to someone on the support team, or you were just trying it yourself and you did not speak to anybody?
I had an accountant, he was trying it. So he said, this is not working. We should go back to Tally.
No, what I mean is, like, did you or your accountant by any chance spoke to someone on our support team on the Zoho books?
There was no one from the support team who had a word with us. We just tried one.
Okay.
So we just heard about Zoho through one of the known person. So we tried Zoho trial in the accounting software, but then it didn't work out. So we stopped using that.
Okay, honestly, I'm surprised. Maybe your accountant wasn't able to figure it out, and that happens. That happens for a lot of users. But we have hundreds and thousands of users who have moved successfully from Tally to Zoho Books, and they continue to do that every other day. So my recommendation would be, when you sign up, you would get an email from somebody the very same day. Please reply to that email and just tell them that I would like to talk to somebody who can help set this up for me. And they would do it within the free trial period itself. And only if it works, then you buy. Otherwise, you don't. So that's something that I would recommend reaching out to our
We'll surely try that, because we are still figuring out if some other software. We even tried making a software, because we have different elements. Just like you mentioned the event part, our bills are even more complicated. When it comes to advertising, events are still specific, some sort of a specific.
Okay. Now that you brought it up, I wouldn't suggest doing it, but just for the sake of an example, if a requirement is very different, very complex, very unique, which I don't think this is in the case, like I don't think books cannot solve it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if it was, we have customers who build a custom application on top of Creator. So that's all. I'm not saying you go and do that. What I'm saying is, for needs which are beyond what a typical software at Zoho can solve, people use Zoho Creator to build their own thing. But for yours, I do not think it should be an exception. We should be able to handle that within Zoho and Wise and Books.
I'll set up again for that trial thing, and we'll get in touch with the support team.
Please do that. And in case you don't hear from them or there's a challenge, you can always reach out to me. I'll make sure somebody speaks with you.
Sure. Thank you.
No problem.
So a couple of other questions. I hope we have time for it. Richa is asking how much is the charge for Zoho Meet, and does it provide Facebook streaming?
Good question. We are still working on YouTube and Facebook streaming. Should be out in a few weeks' time. But yes, that's high on the roadmap. Last I checked with the team 2 weeks ago, they gave me a couple of weeks timeline. So I'm guessing it's almost about. It was definitely being tested when I spoke to them 2 weeks ago. So yes, definitely coming. Charges, I don't know the charge upfront, but go to zoho.com/meeting. On the top menu, you will see a pricing tab. Click on it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty affordable when you compare it with anything else in the market. So that shouldn't be a problem for you. Okay, can we take the next question? I have a SaaS e-com website. My application provider is not having Zoho Click in their store app. How other ways can I set up chatbot?
There's 3 questions actually.
Chatbot, okay. You have an e-commerce website, you need a chatbot. Have you tried Sales IQ? That's my question to you.
Divir,
have you tried Sales IQ? That's what.
Not yet, sir.
Oh, that's what you should try, not Click. Click is for internal team chats. Like if we are 10 people in an organization, we use Click to have a conversation within us. Sales IQ is the tool that you need for not just live chat, but also see how many people are live on your website, send them custom messages, things. There's a lot that you can do with Sales IQ. I would recommend going to zoho.com/salesiq in a single word. So check it out, sign up for the product, free trial. Like I said, when you sign up, you get an email. If you have a question, reply to that email and somebody will get in touch with you. This is a very known, popular use case that we definitely solve for. I don't see a reason why this cannot be done. What Indian languages does ZOHO support? I am sorry, I don't really have an answer for this. I don't know. I should know, but I don't know. I have one more question. Offers it to ZOHO for startup versus ZOHO for small business. Honestly, we don't have a separate category for small business or a medium business. There's a startup program that we run, and we give some free credits to startups. At least we used to. I'm not pretty sure if we still do, but you can look for the startup program. If you look it up on the internet, you'll find it. We might be still giving some credits for small businesses or for startups, but for us, these are same categories. These are not, we have a way how we define startup in terms of revenue or turnover. But if you qualify for that, then that's it. There's no other difference, so to say. And by the way, the software price doesn't change. You could be a 5 people company, you could be a 5,000 people company. The software prices, we don't hide, we don't charge different people differently. It's all published on the website, it's all available. You can see that, and that's what you pay. What we give to startups, like I said, was we were giving some free credits, or basically points, or what we call wallet credits at ZOHO, that will let you use some of the software without having to pay for it. But if you see a price for something is 600 rupees, no matter who it is, it will always be transparent and flat. And you get around 10% discount for an annual subscription. That's it.
I think seems like it. So thank you so much for answering so many questions. It was a good kind of like firing round, more like it. And you like dodged all the bullets and gave all the right answers. Thank you so much for that. So I think we're coming to the end of it. And unless anybody has any last minute things, we're just going to wind up for the day. So before we do that, I wanted to thank you so much for agreeing to do this session. And yes, Lucknow is not known, but we are a thriving city. There are a lot of things which are happening, and we really want to be on the map. So don't forget, in case there's anything which you think that can happen in Lucknow, there are a lot of budding entrepreneurs, even in this group I can see. And the kind of inquiries I had just for your session, I think ZOHO should set up a camp here. You will benefit, right? So
don't give ideas to my CEO, So yeah, he might. You never know. We might one day. So
yeah. No, you'll definitely kind of. And I wanted to say thank you to each one of you who kind of spare their time as well on a Saturday afternoon, very rightly said. But we work on Saturdays, by the way. So we have we can start, I think, now, 5 o'clock onwards. So it was a working thing. So thank you so much. There are a couple of things. All right. Okay. They're just saying thank you. Thank you so much for thanking me. Coming to the end of it. And thank you for so many messages. I will pass along Praval's email. Is it okay to share your email ID and your Twitter account? Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. And I'm going to just end the call now. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me today. And thanks, everyone. You have a great rest of the weekend.
Yes.
Look forward to interacting with you on Twitter or on email. If you still have any questions, I'm happy to help. Thank you.
And the recording will be available. So I'll share with all of you as well. So this is all recorded. So I'll share the YouTube link. All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Or just forget where the end button is. Oh, thank you so much for all the lovely messages which are coming.